Hello and welcome to God Center. I hope you guys are doing amazing. I am doing great. I'm thankful for another day that I can video and bring you guys an amazing word. So let's jump into this. In this week's topic, we'll be talking on a series that actually is being laid out by Pastor Lawrence Scott out of Harvest Point Church in Pearland. And again, this is a series and it is entitled Relationship Goals. Now, normally when we think about relationship goals, if you're on Instagram or anything like that, you've probably seen, these power couples, maybe like, Jay-Z and Beyonce, and, they're just conquering the world, financially, that status is through the roof and their coin is right. So when we think about relationship goals, that's normally what a lot of us, our minds go to. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with you and your boo making moves in this world. With the Lord on your side, there's nothing wrong with that. However, I love that this pastor here, he goes a little bit beneath the surface. So now we're moving from just what looks like the external. So again, when we're talking about like just acquiring things and making power moves and all of that, that's wonderful. That's great. Do your thing. But we're talking about inside the relationship, what's really going on and what kind of relationship goals is going on there. So take a listen to this clip of Pastor Scott.
When you're dating somebody, we've talked about this, you don't show them everything up front. Amen. I can't give you everything. I'm going to show you the best part of me, my best face I'm going to give you when we dating. Is there a witness right there? All right. I'm going to give you my best stuff. Right? I can't tell you on day one, Pastor Kirk, Sister Kirk, I can't tell you I'm crazy on day one. I have to slow drip the crazy. Just a little bit. Just a taste. Slow drip. But by the time you figure out I'm crazy for real, you already committed to me. Had to lock you in, fuck you, so I can't. Right? And watch what happens in relationships sometimes, right? So you get married, and the excitement and joy of this new space, honeymoon, all that kind of stuff, somebody shows you a little crazy, and you be like, oh, wow, okay. Maybe that's just a little crazy. It's going to go away. No big deal. I'm not going to make a fuss. We're new to this. I'm trying to keep it moving. Look crazy becomes big crazy. But at this point, you say to yourself, and I didn't say anything the first time, I'll make adjustments to accommodate the crazy. We have issues. I know there are issues. We know there are issues, but we can't talk about it because it's been here so long. We'll just make accommodations to fit your issues next to my issues. Put your bags next to my bags. We won't unpack them. We'll just sit them by the door just in case somebody got to leave. You grab your bag and go. We'll make accommodations for them. And then you've been married for longer than that. You look back and say, I should have said something. I never said something. And if I say something now after 15 years, after 20 years, they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. They're going to say to me, why didn't you say something the first time? Oh, I can't trust you. I can't trust you because you've been lying to me all these years. If you felt that way, you should have said something. And so we never talk about the things that we need to talk about. And God is calling us to have a Genesis 2:25 type of experience where we're naked and unashamed, where we're vulnerable, and we're dealing with stuff in a space where there is consideration, love, grace, and patience, but we don't know how to do that. We don't know how to do that, so we don't unpack. We just leave them by the door.
You guys, this word right here, like I'm going to watch this video again because it's just that good. I don't know if y'all have watched any of these videos. I really do hope that y'all just listen to what I'm saying. I hope that you get in there, click on the links that we're providing at the end of these videos and see what you get out of it for yourself, because you might get something that I didn't get. And it may be exactly for you in your season that you're in. So please be sure to click on that link and check out these pastors, y'all, because I'm searching for this word to bring you guys so that y'all can know what's up and what God is saying. And I love how when the Lord is moving, he will speak to not just one church. Because last week, if you remember, we spoke about the word that Pastor Joynes brought out of Baytown. And that was talking about relationship and how, Adam and Eve, that original relationship and what was intended there. And again, this too is also, it has roots in talking about how God originally intended the relationship between not just God and man to be, but also between the woman and the man to be. And I love the idea of just being naked and unashamed. And again, we're not trying to encourage anyone to be out here running in these streets naked, but I'm saying, like, to be able to be with that person that you're with and to be able to be naked, and not just nakedness, like how they say in the South, nakedness. We're not talking about nakedness, okay? If you should be able to be naked with your spouse, because that's your spouse, right? You should be able to do that without being shamed. So that's a whole nother level. But we're talking about nakedness as far as laying everything out, like putting everything out on the table. There really should not be any barriers, any sort of hindrances where you feel like you don't have that space to talk about certain things, where you feel that that's off the topic. Like, I know we can talk about a lot of things, but that we can't touch that because we're just going to ignore it. And that's some of what Pastor Scott alluded to in talking about some of the baggage that we are carrying into some of these relationships that I would dare say most of us are carrying into these relationships. And if we're not careful, it can cost us the relationship, that relationship, your next relationship, and every other relationship that you go into, and you keep on moving and thinking like, okay, I got to leave that one. And sometimes you do need to leave that one. I'm just saying. But if you keep going into each new relationship with that same bag and you're wondering what's going on, it's time to unpack that bag and see what's really in there. And you should be able to have a space where you can unpack that bag with that significant other that you're with. And if you don't necessarily have that space, because maybe that person has their own baggage, which most likely they have, and maybe they can't even handle your baggage right now, there is a wonderful thing called counseling. And I highly encourage you guys to, use counseling. God put people in that specific role for counsel. And God talks about seeking counsel and the importance of godly counsel at that. So I definitely would encourage counseling for anyone who is having any issues, especially in their marriage, or even if you're not married yet, or maybe you separated and you're looking to reconcile. Counseling. I know it sounds overplayed and people like, oh, I don't have time for that, I don't have money for that. Make time for it, because it can make all the difference in whether that reuniting is successful or not, or that the relationship that you're currently in and perhaps trying to salvage is actually going to make it or not. Amos 3:3, so that's Amos chapter 3, verse 3, asks the question, can two walk together unless they agree? And obviously in relationships, we're not always going to agree. But you would be amazed at how sometimes the baggage that we bring into a relationship could even affect whether y'all agree or not on the simplest of things. I mean, simple things. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. And I love one example that the pastor had given about his wife asking him to, to put gas in the car so that she could go to work in the morning on a full tank of gas. And him coming from a single family home where the mom did everything. So he's looking at her like, well, what's wrong with you? Like, why can you not? Is something wrong with your hand? Simple things. So can we agree? Like, so it's so important to understand and know. So if a wife knows, okay, the husband came from a background where that's a single family home that he's used to the woman, his mama, being superwoman. So she does everything. It's not because she necessarily wants to have to do those things. It's because out of necessity, she doesn't have any help, so she has to do it. Everything falls on her shoulders. But in real life, and how God planned it to be, there should be help. It shouldn't be that the woman has to be superwoman and do all things and rip her shirt or whatever and take off and do this and do that. She should have help. So being able to understand what that would look like and not have those expectations, say, for example, on your spouse, you know what I mean? That, okay, well, if my mama did it, why you can't do it? So I thought that was really cute, and it was really just really real. And I loved his transparency and even sharing that. So just to give someone a clue or a glimpse into what are some of the issues that can even go on in a marriage, something as simple as that. I know whenever my husband and I, when we're driving. Like if I'm there, if I'm driving, even if I'm driving, he's gonna pump the gas. You know, if I'm by myself, I was by myself for a long time. I know how to point. I know how to pump gas. But if he is here, if he's in my presence, I will not be pumping the gas unless he is sick and something is wrong with him. I will not exit the vehicle to pump gas. No, sir, no, ma'am. So there's just little things like that that some of us get accustomed to and things like that. And so it can really just help to know each other's background, know a little bit about where they're coming from, what they're accustomed to, so that they can adjust perhaps, or you can help them to adjust their expectations of you so that y'all will not have to have unnecessary tension where you can't walk together because you can't agree, where maybe spouse may say, if nothing's wrong with your hands, then you need to go and pump your own gas. Yeah, y'all need to talk about those sorts of things. So it's such little simplistic things like this that you don't think are significant, but that they make all the difference between whether a relationship is going to work or not. Well, that is it for this episode of God Center. I do hope that you guys enjoyed it. I thank y'all for watching. Even though things are looking a little bit different, we're videoing at a different hour, so hence the shadows. But shadows let us know that we are above ground and not 6 feet under. Praise God. So until we can video during the day again, please continue to endure with me with these shadows. So I have included the link below so you guys can watch this entire video. It is going to bless you. I just know it will. And remember, this is a series, so you don't want to miss next week, because that's going to be the follow-up on this one. And I just know that y'all are going to be blessed. And even if you're not exactly blessed in this moment for yourself, you can bless somebody by sharing it with them. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time God Center releases a new video. So I will see you guys next time on God Center. But until then, be sure that you keep God at the center of all you do. Bye-bye.